Hello, my name is Paul and I run this channel, Project Nigel. And the reason for this video today is that it has now been going for 5 whole years. 5 whole years of me coming down to this yard making videos nearly every single day. And so what I wanted to do today was to do some sort of video showing my gratitude to all of the people that have been here on this particular journey. Some have been here since the beginning and are still here. Some have gone, some have arrived. With over 9,000 subscribers, I can't possibly name even a portion of them. For the first time ever, I have a piece of paper here that tells me what I'm going to talk about. Normally, I just bluff the whole thing and see how it works out. But there are quite a few things here I wanted to make sure I said. Right from the beginning, whilst making videos, I seem to have accumulated a few sidekicks. Some of those don't really appear to be very active any longer. The first one was a chap called Damien. And then we had Johnny Crook, there's Fix It Carl. There's also Miss Mustard, who used to appear quite a lot. And then Senior Mustard popped in and out quite a bit as well. And then of course we have Mr. Boaty, who has been banished from the channel since the beginning of the year, poor chap. Most importantly, of course, I would say it's going to be a leg road man. A leg road man has indeed been a real staple of the channel for the past year, and he shall continue to be exactly that. Over the past 5 years, I have naturally ended up working with and meeting quite a few YouTubers, such as Thomas Edward, such as Beards and Bangers, All Things Alex, JM on Cars, whom I've met quite a few times. Furious Driving, I did a video in the yard with Furious Driving. Hubnut, I met him at the Motorist. I got involved with some stuff with Drive Tribe a few years back. Hooked on Classics, Joseph Lloyd. Yes, Joseph Lloyd came along to the yard and actually drove my car, Nigel. That was a fun day. Retro Rats, the Greenwoods, and of course, Boaty. But that's to name just a few. I'm sure there are others. There'll be some smaller channels. Alex's Assets. Oh yeah, Ali Mac Mechanical. He actually sent me some beer. Robson Rover Repair. He's a lovely chap. I've met him a few times at shows. And then Markham Motoring. And many, many other people as well. I mean, speaking of shows, I've taken Project Nigel to many a car show. The one at Gaydon, the one at the Motorist, Pride of Longbridge, etc. The local one over here, where again I've ended up meeting people that seem to know all about it. Plus, I have ventured into doing cooking on the channel and decided that wasn't a good idea and swapped it off to an entirely new channel altogether, where I am rather confused as to what I'm actually doing there these days. Over the many years I've been here, there are quite a few features of the yard, such as the yard itself. The fighting robots, I always get to say. I believe they were named by Stephen S. Paul. Tony and the Bandit, as named by Dick Dastardly. The Yard Cat, which became Yard Cats. The things in the background. Simon Sentinel, the fridge, the Lego wall, the crap everywhere. And masses of stuff in the lockup that seems to get featured quite a lot, even though it's not really all that important. I hope this video is going okay. I can't tell at the moment whether it's just a lot of mumbling nonsense or something a bit more coherent. I am, of course, known as Captain Mustard, which is a self-appointed nickname that stuck after smearing a load of Dijon mustard over a seal bar and eating it. It was actually really nice. At one point, I thought it was going to be called the Radish Rambler, because I insisted that if anyone came around to the yard for a cup of tea, which obviously people are welcome, I would give them a radish rather than a biscuit. But that one didn't catch on. Probably because I never did it. One of the main features of this channel has been doing car reviews right from the start, where Mr. Gellibrand brought around his MGTF. Rather a surprise for me, I wasn't expecting it, and I took it off for a drive, and halfway through that particular car review, I wondered what it was I was talking about, and went back to doing some work on my MG ZS at the time called Morris. However, I realised it was quite a good direction to go in, so I encouraged people to bring their cars down for me to drive. It started off as being rubbish car reviews or terrible car reviews, which could be taken as either the review's rubbish or the car is rubbish, and that was actually deliberate. So I wanted not good cars, but then people started bringing me good cars. interesting cars, classic cars, old cars, from a 90-year-old American hot rod, which was incredibly frightening to drive, to the latest modern electric tin openers that we see on the roads everywhere today. I love doing car reviews. And of course, I'm known best for like MG Rover stuff. That's what I seem to be working on within the yard. So naturally, people brought me along MG Rovers. And that's how I kind of got into doing quite a bit of stuff with Allegro Man, because he's always got one for sale and he may as well have it on a video. But actually, my car reviews are some of my proudest moments. And I've been told by the likes of Mr. Boaty, you don't really do car reviews properly. You don't actually give any information. No, I don't. I never really wanted to do. I don't want to go into the consumer side of things and talk about how much you could possibly buy one of these things for or how much it's going to cost to run, because that information goes out of date really quickly. Whereas observations don't go out of date. And that's why I've kept on doing them, and some people have kept on bringing them to me. It's good. It's a good deal. I like it. The channel originally was based on my particular car, Nigel, the multicoloured dream boat of a Rover, which of course is not working entirely properly at the moment. I wanted to do fixing videos, instructional videos, but I soon found myself thinking, I can see why other people don't do them properly now, because it's boring, that's why, and not that many people are going to be interested in a video that shows you how to do something if you don't want to do it yourself. Still, the amount of cars that I've personally owned and done work on is quite impressive actually. And now I'm beginning to wonder, why am I wearing this really filthy, what was once a day glow jacket? Well, because it's cold, that's why. And I wasn't really considering getting myself dressed up smart for this particular occasion. But I am happy to do half a job. And that, unfortunately, goes with many of my projects, because unfortunately, mechanics isn't really one of my strong points. It's one of those things I'll have a go at doing, and when I need to do it, I will crack on and try. And that's why we have a list of cars here. Cars that have been good, cars that have not been so good. I'm not afraid to do a head gasket, I just don't want to mess about with the suspension. Nigel, of course, being car number one. Then what about Transit Face? What about Alfie, the Rover 45 in Midnight Blue? What a wonderful, lovely motor that was. Went to my friend Aaron, and then it went wrong. Fred the Shed, a car that I just loved because it was so terrible. It was in such bad nick, I just felt warm towards it, and so do the Bath brothers. Harry Seacombe, the Rover 600, a car that was broken and then sold and then brought back and then sold and then brought back yet again. Reoccurring themes, Alexander Audi, a car that didn't really fit with the rest of them. I owned it 3 times. To miss 95% of the cars I have had dealings with seems wrong, but I have to do, so we can remember cars like Eric, the diesel Rover 45 with a tow bar that some idiot crashed into the back of and wrecked it. And finally, this car here, Dr. Meldrew, my Volvo V70. This is what you call a keeper, and quite possibly a channel changer. Another big feature of this channel has been road trips. Everybody seems to like a road trip, whether it's to deliver a car, whether it's to buy a car, whether it's to do some sort of strange challenge, or just go and help somebody out, or go to a wedding, etc. I've videoed them all, and that's why to settle. I've been to Grange-on-Sands, and Leicester, and Derby, and Scunthorpe. Also been to Gloucester, Sheffield, Colchester, Llandudno, Norwich, somewhere in Cornwall, and Ashford in Kent, Cambridge, Skegness, almost to the Isle of Skye, and Milton Keynes. And then the latest video, Newport, South Wales. Oh, there's a point. I went there before anyway, but it didn't end up on being a playlist because it was before I started doing it. I suppose Turbo Tom's a sidekick as well. Yeah, Turbo Tom's a sidekick. Turbo as in managing to recirculate and blow a whole load of hot air somewhere. That's the most turboing he's been doing. You big hairy cactus. One of the most wonderful things though, of course, has been just having people around actually watching these videos. And if I was to go through a whole list of regular subscribers, channel viewers, etc., it would take me a while. It really would take me a while. And in fact, I just skimmed through some of the comments and there's just too many. So forgive me for not thanking you. But I do most definitely have to thank the likes of Simon Brader, of Jimmy Quinn, of Splitpin, of Ali Mechanical, Screaming Lord Stokes, Lord Brennan of Sealand, Carl Bolton.
Dinosaur Dad.
No, yeah. GPSOMG. More recently, Trevor Buick, and well, there's your problem. But the two main ones are going to have to be Windy Miller, whose comments are just, I can't reply to the comment as well as he can write the comments, and I feel daft actually replying. And Dick Dastardly. Typically, as I finish this off, I'm going to go home and remember lots of other really important people. Oh yeah, such as Mad Ford Engineering, Rover Joe. What about Steve Berry, the TV personality that I did quite a lot of work with? That was very much a fun time, and I'd like to do something like that again. So thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you for being here to watch it, and thank you for, and if you've been here since the beginning, an extra big thank you. If you've only just joined the silliness on this channel, thank you for actually joining it, because 9,000 subscribers is not enough to get me very far. So please help me going, and in another 5 years, when it's 10 years worth of Project Nigel, maybe I'll have 10,000 subscribers. Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you.